Caribbean Policy Development Center, in collaboration with the Institute of Gender and Development Studies, Nita Barrow Unit, and UETV, have partnered on a project titled Voices of Women, which seeks to highlight women from Barbados and the wider Caribbean, reflecting on their work in 5 areas: education, community development, development work, healthcare, and politics. Voices of Women play an integral part in ensuring that the oral history of the Caribbean woman is well remembered by allowing the chosen women to tell their stories.
Because society has primarily been about men for a very long time, when you talk about gender equality, generally it is like bringing women up to men. But women are entering the playing field almost on the terms men enter. Immediately you're doing an injustice to women.
And when they didn't hear a story in the sports news, somebody would call. And I must say that at that stage, my editor batted for me.
Okay.
Right? He would say, well, I said a reporter, and you said you were looking for a man, and she's not a man.
But nurses don't get paid for being all these specialists. I specialize in ICU, critical care nursing, but they do not pay nurses who specialize in these areas in Barbados.
Right.
They do overseas.
And I remember one annual conference, walking about and asking for support. And some old fellows there said to me, well, who do you think you are? I mean, because your father was a parliamentarian one time, you think you could just come onto the NEC? I said, no, I'm prepared to work for it.
What the Bureau allowed me to do was to focus on how vulnerable women were to HIV, because what was happening with the promotion and the public information, the woman was seen as the target who was giving the man the HIV.
Okay. A lot of them were saying, you know, I would love to be able to go out to school, and I got these dreams of having a business, and so the women within the community started to tell us about the things they would like, and then the Barbados program then was basically crafted out of what they were asking for.
When we look at the background of the women, they were all single head of households. Their husbands were incarcerated, they were deceased, and these are women who were trying their best to do what had to be done to maintain their families.
When it comes to women's issues, I'm a woman. And that is where I take off from. But when it comes to my work in mental health, it is that there are people who have issues, there are people who need help, and there are people that I will work with. What I can say is that it's much easier to access the women.
When she saw the dramatization, she said she actually saw herself in the coffin, and she said, that is me, and if I don't do anything, I'm going to get those flowers on my grave. And she said it empowered her to get out of that abusive relationship.
The vision that people had for their children in the midst of very limited circumstances and huge challenges, but it just expanded for me all the time, an appreciation of women, an enjoyment of the capacities of women, and that has stayed with me.